What's going on, Summoners? I'm Kangas, and today we're going to be taking a look at the top 3 champions to one trick in every role. Whether it's due to their high skill ceiling, their simplistic kit, or a nice combo of both, these champions are guaranteed to give you hours upon hours of gameplay and LP. Starting us off, we're taking a look at the top lane. And believe it or not, even in a lane as isolated as top, there are still a ton of great champion playstyles that you can find a home in. For all of our tank mains out there, ORNN is one of the best tanks in the game when it comes to maining. Not only is he a powerful and reliable weak side player, but he's able to scale both him and his team heavily into the late game. Alongside his already great scaling, in a lot of matchups, ORNN can actually turn the tides in 1v2s and come out on top due to the raw damage in his kit. While he may seem boring to some people, if you're a fan of tanks, he will not disappoint. Whether you pick him for his strong CC or simply for his ability to scale into oblivion, ORNN is a champion that's worth putting a lot of time into. Plus, he finally got a new skin not that long ago. But if you're not a fan of tanks, don't worry, we also got you covered with a champion that has one of, if not the, highest skill ceiling in the game. Riven has a ton of history behind her as she continued to grow in complexity as the years passed. Even now, people are still finding more and more combos on this champ. She offers an extremely fun and highly mobile playstyle that allows you to duel your enemy and demolish teamfights. Better yet, now with Practice Tool, you can put in a ton of time on Riven without having to wait 70 seconds for your ultimate like you had to in the old days. Overall, if you're looking for a fighter that you can dump hours into as you attempt to master them, Riven is definitely a champion that you should look into. And leading us into our final top laner, we've got SHEN. SHEN is a nice combination of both Riven and ORNN. He's got the ability to play as a tank that can take a lot of fights in lane, which makes him quite a tough opponent to go against. Alongside a strong laning phase, he's also able to support his team with his global ultimate, which not only gets him ahead, but can also help salvage his team's mistakes. If Riven and ORNN weren't really your type of champions, be sure to test out SHEN as he's a really good fusion of bruiser, tank, and support all in one. Plus, he never really falls that far out of the meta. Now, before we dive into our jungle champion list, I gotta remind you to check out ProGuides.com, where you can view our incredible catalogs of coaches, courses, and overall a shortcut to your dream rank. While you're there, you can use the discount code RANKUP2021 to get 20% off your next subscription. If you've always been curious about how far a ProGuides sub can take you, now's your best chance. But moving on, we got our jungle champions next, and while the jungle is a fairly versatile meta, it's still one that can have a lot of powerful champions due to the nature of their kits. Starting off strong in the jungle, we got Lee Sin. This blind monk has reigned supreme in the jungle for years now, and while he may not always be S tier, he very rarely falls below B tier and is always, ironically, a great blind pick. His ability to clear the jungle quickly and healthily allows him to keep up with other junglers. Plus, you can spend hours in Practice Tool learning his combos so that you can defeat your enemies with mechanical prowess. Overall, if you need a jungler who's equal parts farmer and ganker, Lee Sin is definitely somebody to check out. And next up, we got NUNU. Ever since his rework, NUNU has held the spot in the jungle as being one of the most oppressive early game champions due to his incredibly powerful ganks. Not only does he clear camps extremely fast, but he can also easily clear them, heal up, and then come rolling into your lane with a nearly undodgeable snowball. Similar to Lee Sin, he's able to keep up with the enemy, and while he may not deal as much damage, he makes up for it with his high gank potential and tankier stats. Overall, if you want a reliable tank jungle, NUNU is perfect and can be a ton of fun to learn. And ending our jungle list, we have KINDRED. This hunter is one of the few marksmen in the jungle and actually plays closest to the AD carry role when compared to someone like Graves. Due to their high damage and scaling potential, KINDRED is an extremely volatile jungle that can single-handedly carry games with a small early lead. While they may not boast amazing mechanics, if you're able to kite your camps and learn to orb walk as you kite your enemies, they can offer some great gank potential and high carry potential. Overall, it'll take some time getting used to KINDRED, but they're one of the best scaling junglers out there. Plus, it's just a lot of fun being able to easily kite out your enemies due to your kit. And now, before we continue on with the rest of the video, I want to quickly look at our question of the day. What champion would you recommend others to main, and why? I'm a support main, so I think one of the easiest champions to main in that role is either THRESH or Bard. Both of them have incredible versatility regardless of your lane matchup, and they can also impact lanes outside of just the bot lane incredibly easily. Let me know your recommendation in the comments down below. Now bringing us to the mid lane, we've got ORIANNA. Ori has always been an extremely interesting champion for both solo queue and pro play. Her ability to deal with all kinds of champions while also being able to zone off enemies with her powerful control abilities makes her really hard to deal with. The best thing about Ori though is the fact that she never really falls out of the meta. Unlike other mid laners, she's always a good pick, and while she may not always be S tier, she's again rarely below B tier, kinda like Lee Sin. So if you want a unique champion that you can play for years to come, ORIANNA will definitely not disappoint. And next up, we got a spicy one in Yone. This is a new fighter, and it's one that offers a really interesting playstyle. Seemingly being a combination of Yasuo's fighting style with Zed's assassination power, Yone boasts an extremely unique kick that can often leave your enemies shocked and confused. While he does have a fairly weak early game, it's made up for his extremely powerful mid to late game carry potential. If you're a fan of Yasuo but don't want to spend as much time learning crazy mechanics, make sure to test out Yone instead. His ability to carry games may very well surprise you. And last but certainly not least, we have AHRI. This nine-tailed fox is one of the few AP assassins in the game that still holds a classic resemblance to a mage. Her ability to deal with other assassins while also being able to flank enemy carries makes her quite the enemy to deal with. Plus, she's got a ton of unique and beautiful skins to choose from, so hey, that's a plus. Overall, if you want an assassin but worry about your team being full AD, AHRI's a fun champion that you should absolutely test out. Now moving on, we got our AD carry tier list, and who better to start off with than KAITLYN. KAITLYN, just like ORIANNA, is an AD carry that really never falls out of the meta. Her high levels of range and great scaling make her somebody that's always blind pickable and will always hold a spot above the B tier in nearly every patch. Alongside this powerful ability to always be useful, KAITLYN is one of the strongest laners in the game that can always offer skill expression with her mechanical prowess. While her kit may seem simple at first, it offers a lot of versatility and outplay potential once you really learn it. And no, it's no joke that we oftentimes call KAITLYN the ORIANNA of the bot lane. Next up, we got an AD carry that was made extremely famous through pro play, and that is Vayne. This short-range hyper carry was one of the biggest showmakers in the LCS back in her heyday. Her ability to outplay opponents with her invisibility and condemn make her extremely difficult to deal with if she gets ahead. And while her early game may be weak, she's able to more than make up for it by being one of the strongest AD carries in the game later on. Being a short-range AD carry, be sure to take your time learning to properly kite, especially in high-tempo situations. If you're looking to hard carry games while also outplaying your opponents left and right, then be sure to test out Vayne and unlock your inner double lift. Finally, we've got Ezreal. This caster AD carry is pretty unique due to how his playstyle works. While any good Ezreal will auto-attack like a traditional AD carry, he also throws out mystic shots that deal amplified damage from afar. Alongside his high-range damage, he offers an extremely safe reposition tool that may as well be a free flash. He can be seen as a nice mix of both Vayne and KAITLYN. While he does have a weak early game, he can safely farm from afar like KAITLYN and offers extremely strong damage in the mid-game similar to Vayne. Trust us when we say that a good Ezreal and a great Ezreal are easily identifiable since their DPS will differ significantly. So don't worry, he's more than worth putting time into. Overall, if you want a unique AD carry that's always a reliable and safe pick, Ezreal is somebody you should check out. And by the way, before hopping into supports, I want to let you know we're doing a giveaway right now in our Discord, and you can find a link to join that in the description down below. We got an amazing community of people just like you that love lists and talking about pieces like this, so if that interests you at all and you want to make some more League of Legends friends, come check us out. Now, as we grow closer to the end of the video, let's start off with one of my answers to the question of the day in THRESH. This infamous chain warden was made popular by pro players like MadLife, who never seemed to miss a hook. THRESH's ability to be extremely versatile and blind pickable make him a viable pick in nearly every patch. Whether you need peel or engage, he's able to offer a powerful fusion of both and is often regarded as one of the most balanced supports in the game. Plus, he has different ability maxes, build paths, and positions that he can take, so if you're willing to take the time to learn his various builds and playstyles, THRESH can provide you with interactive gameplay and LP gains for years to come. Being one of the newer champions, it may shock a lot of people to see RELL on our list. However, her ability to 5-man engage on an enemy team while also being nearly unkillable makes her quite the foe to go against. Alongside her strong teamfight ability, she's able to carry lanes with her engage potential and high amounts of CC. Just be sure to not miss your engages early on. And while yeah, she can be fairly difficult to pick up and master, the time investment pays off. Just take a look at Core JJ, who has seemingly mastered the art of RELL support as he boasts the status as one of the best supports in all of NA. Overall, if you just want an engage heavy tank support that's extremely hard to kill, RELL will definitely not disappoint. And last but certainly not least, we've got LULU. This support is one of the few enchanters in the game that doesn't actually offer a real healing ability. That being said, she should not be underestimated, as she's probably one of the best and most versatile enchanters in the game. Not only is she able to buff her allies with shields, health, and attack speed and movement speed, but she also deals high amounts of damage in the early game. Plus, if you've ever faced a LULU, you know she's able to stop hard engaged champions like Hecarim and assassins like Zed due to her powerful polymorph ability. And that's without even using the rest of her kit. Overall, if you're looking for the definition of a supportive champion, LULU is somebody that you can put hours into and will never disappoint. And that will sum up our video for today. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to join our ProGuides family at ProGuides.com, where we offer exclusive giveaways and classes that you will not catch anywhere else. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like, comment, and sub to the channel as well. That's it for today, so best of luck on the Rift, everybody. Stay hydrated, and I'll see you in the next one.